Hey everyone, and welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. Today we have a special video for you. We have some spoilers from the upcoming Night's Watch expansion, Watchers on the Wall. Thanks to Fantasy Flight Games for sending us 2 spoiler cards, and we're going to go over them with you. And to do that, I've called in my senior Night's Watch expansion card spoiler correspondent, Kevin Austin, to help me. Kevin, say hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, so we have the first card that we're going to go over here is a plot. It is called into service. Its stat line is 2 gold, 0 initiative, 1 claim. It has a reserve of 6. It's traded kingdom, and it has a when revealed, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a character, put it into play. If it is a non-character card, draw it and gain 2 gold. So first, let's discuss the art, because we were just discussing it before the video. And I think it looks pretty cool. I think it's Barristan Selmy. Kevin, what do you think?
Yeah, it's an old man who's getting back in the game. And yeah, we thought that the armor looked Targaryen-ish, so possibly when he's being called into service for Dany.
Yeah, I would think that too. That's just what I assume by looking at it. But if any of you guys watching see this art and you know what that is, or if we're wrong or we're right or whatever, leave it in the comments below. I'm very curious, but the art looks cool. And beyond the art, though, it is kingdom traded. So kingdom means it can be hit by naval, but it's 2 gold, so you're not really caring. So that's not a big deal.
A low gold kingdom plot, you might have just benefit from Stone Drum instead.
True. Yes, Stone Drum does play off that. And the other thing too, since it's a kingdom, pulled the strings right in Tyrell. This is a card you might want to flip and hit. Or pull out of their use pile, I guess, trigger the ability.
That is schemes, edicts, and kingdoms?
Yeah, kingdoms.
Yep.
Yeah, kingdom schemes and edicts, yeah. So that's one I always think of when I see a kingdom plot. I think of pulling the strings, and this is something that you would want to trigger from your opponents, possibly, but like you're going to get a card draw, worst case scenario out of it, and 2 gold.
Yeah.
So worst case scenario...
worst case scenario might be a Chud, but...
Yeah, worst case scenario, Chud. If that happened later on. But let's go to marshaling. So if you play this, you get a Chud, you throw him in, you're getting 1 gold out of the guy, you're getting the reduction off the Chud, and if you grab an event, you're drawing it, gaining 2 gold, or like a location or attachment.
Yep.
So it's still like a 4-ish gold plot with card draw.
Yeah, worst case scenario, it's a bad building orders where you didn't get to choose what it was.
Yeah. But overall, like the reserves average, the initiative sucks. Like the stat line's not great. No. The ability can be bomb though. So like when I first saw this card, I started to think of like those all character Stark decks. They were around in first edition. I know in second edition there was kind of like the all character kind of idea of just jamming your deck full of like 40 something, 50 something characters and go crazy. I mean, you could put in a bunch of bigger dudes, kind of up your curve in characters and play a couple of these.
More recently, people have been playing the Tyrell Bitterbridge decks, often bannered to Wolf. So they have big characters. They don't even play reducers in there. So this could potentially have big hits on there, but I don't know how high their character count was.
Yeah, but I mean, you could throw a couple of these in. It's not plot deck limit 1, so if you're really going all in on that, I got a deck full of big dudes, and I'm going to just cheat them into play, kind of. It's a gamble still.
Yes.
But,
most of the time.
Yeah. And what else? What else works with this, Kevin? What do you think about this card?
Well, a lot of people will go back to Bear the Maiden Fair and still try to make that work. So
yes.
Set up the top cards of your deck and then figure out what can flop off the top.
Yeah. One thing I have, sorry to interrupt you. One thing I have is that awkward turn when this is flipped on Valor, and you're looking and you're trying to figure out who wins initiative and whether the opponent's going to just trigger this on you first, and then you have you flip the guy, and then they throw him out and they Valor him away, and you kind of get screwed on this plot. So
yeah, so having the equal initiative isn't a huge
or losing initiative, right? Losing initiative is like, so the 0 initiative kind of scares me on this. If you play it accidentally on a Valor turn, and your opponent, as a King's Rodent player, it's Greyjoy who's running around with like the little guys boosting your economy, the salty navigators.
Yep.
But what else?
So that'd be awkward. It's interesting. I don't know if in like a normal traditional deck whether this would be great. because you are potentially hitting nothing and having this be one of the worst draw plots.
Yeah, like when comparing it to like Counting Coppers or like a Time of Plenty, right? Like it's getting you like one card, not too much gold, but like it's a big gamble. It seems like a more fun card to me, but throwing it in like it is in the Night's Watch box. Is this meant for the Night's Watch decks that are playing like the 2 Counting Coppers already, that they can throw this in there when they all have a lot of cheap characters and they don't care if they draw one of their locations, they get the gold, they can still play the wall with it? Like I don't know. I don't know if that's what it's meant for, is the kind of weenie wall defense deck, or
no, I think they'd still rather play Building Orders over this if they were playing defense.
Yeah, true.
Maybe potentially out of the Night's Watch box, if we saw like a Wildling with Wildling John, maybe that plays enough characters to try to get use out of this, but I don't know.
And the other thing, having to reveal the top card of your deck. So if it's like an event, you grabbed your event, you now revealed it to your opponent, it's known information.
Yeah.
And that's like, you know, but if you build your deck around this, like you say, it's not just put in a standard deck. You might not be running many non-character cards. And this may just be a character-focused deck. I don't know, but
yeah, it's similar to Gates of Winterfell in that way.
Yep. Any other comments on Called Into Service?
No.
All right. If you guys have any comments, and let us know what you think about this plot, you can do so in the comments below, so other people who watch this can see your comments, have some discussion. We'd love to hear what you guys think of this plot. Maybe we missed something. Maybe something screaming out at us, that are screaming out at you guys that you think about this plot. You want to let us know. That would be great. So, Kevin, you want to let us know what our second spoiler card is?
Sure. It is also a plot. It is called Whisper Campaign. It is 4 gold, 4 initiative, 1 claim, and 6 reserve. It has a plot deck limit 1. It is scheme traded and has a forced reaction. After a character without an intrigue icon enters play, kneel it.
And what do you think about it?
It is interesting. It annoys me that it is another scheme that's not great with Reigns of Castamere.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
It's interesting with the rush decks that are kind of around and have been around for the past couple months, because a lot of the characters with renown that sort of thing gets built up on do not have intrigue icons.
Yes, this is true.
So that could slow them down for a turn, potentially, if they needed a guy to swing in on that turn. If they needed the specific guy that they played, I mean. There's like icon removal doesn't matter for this because it only matters when it enters play.
Yep.
So that's not a huge thing. So, but Martell or Lannister decks could have the intrigue icon count where this does not hurt you as much.
True. Yep. Another thing, like you're saying with the Reigns deck, so being a scheme, like you're saying, so it misses, like you obviously can't put this in your regular plot deck, so this can only be flipped over in challenges after you win a challenges, right? So if it's flipped in there, it's not doing anything for you unless you're facing like a heavy ambush or jumper deck, right? That's going to be bringing stuff in later, which you're not going to put that in your scheme deck for that, narrow possibility, I guess. But it is a good anti-card for that kind of meta if you have a lot of those decks, like you say, the rushy decks or even the jumper decks, the ambush decks. A lot of those ambush characters in all these factions don't have intrigue icons.
Yeah, and if you are since the 5 schemes in a Reigns deck are essentially like a toolbox, if you had the room for this, you could certainly throw it in if you were afraid of jumpers type decks. So it could potentially go there, but
but it doesn't seem like you're getting the value out of the plot doing that.
No.
The other thing, this hits both players. So if you're putting this in your deck, and you have some of those ambushy guys, or you don't have enough intrigue icons in your characters, this may hurt you or limit your options on playing stuff. Like you might be okay with it if you just need to get a character into play. He's going to come in knelt, but it's not like this is a high economy plot, so it's not like you're benefiting by, hey, I got 7 gold off this thing, I'm going to get the character in. The downside is he's going to come in knelt. So like, you have to build your deck with you time this on the turn. So it kind of, I don't know how to say it, but you're basically like pigeonholing yourself into options. Let's say you play this and then you top deck into 2 bombs that you have a King's Road sitting out, you want to pop, and you draw your 2 bombs that don't have intrigue icons. Now you're stuck, you can't play them, so you Yeah, or you could, but you're gonna kneel them out, so it can hurt you, is what I'm trying to say, because it's hurts both players and it's forced.
Yeah, so you really have to be getting more use out of this than Filthy Accusations for it to be worth
Yeah,
it,
yeah. So
and not hurting yourself.
does this go then in that kind of kneel deck? Is this another kneel plot in the kneel decks? Like, and they're okay if they have to kneel something out. They just want you to kneel something out. You know, like
But potentially, and it also could be like after a board clear, like after you use Varus or Valor on the following turn, if you do have Intrigue Icons available, then
Yeah.
you play this, restrict them while still building up your board again.
yeah, it's like you're gonna build your deck with this in mind. Like, you're not gonna slot this in just like the previous plot. You don't just slot this in any random deck. You got to sit down and look at your icon spread and what you're trying to do and make sure it doesn't hurt you.
Right.
But yeah, some of the decks I would hate if you're playing this as an answer card, like, because it is kind of toolboxy too. If you're just playing it to answer the meta, if you have Lannisters running around, this smacks the Hound good.
Yep.
In the Harrenhal decks, this Arion decks, like, from my experience, I don't know the cards in Martell now or what they're jumping in, but in the past it always seems like Arion went back to hand and out came a character with military and power or just military jumping in out of Martell. So those guys will hate it. Arion's not as powerful if she's bringing in someone kneeling. And Mance Raider decks, all the wildlings. I don't know any wildlings really that have intrigue. Is there not? I think there's only one, right?
Egret and 2 or 3 of the Chuds do now.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because a lot of the wildling cards are just military and power, just military. So him, if you build a deck around Mance Raider and you're trying to jump guys in later, that could suck. Clansmen too. They're kind of a jumpy deck, right? Those guys are all mainly just military, some power, odd intrigue, but it hurts those decks. So I mean, like, if you have these kind of challenge phase jumping guys in, those cycling guys in and out of play, a lot of those guys, like, in Dothrakis too, I guess the Dothraki ones that jump guys in, all those guys don't have intrigue icons. So it's a good answer to that. If those kind of decks are annoying you or running around your meta, this kind of card, even in the future, could help with that. But
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah, like, since we're getting like we're getting 10 plots a cycle and 6 plots every box. They're not all going to be A plus, but this will get some use, I think.
And I think this one, the way they always stick in the expansion boxes, they always put in cards that are like anti to the faction also. So they give the faction a boost, but then they usually give you the tools to, if the faction gets out of control, stuff to handle it. I think this is actually one that counters Night's Watch. That's what it's meant to be in there for.
Yeah.
So if, like, Night's Watch is trouble, like, a lot of their guys don't have intrigue icons, and this is like, they're bringing in ranging parties and they're kneeling them out to start. They can't stand them now with Castle Black because they're not going to be defending in the first place. So
Right. Yeah. If they don't have an established board, then getting this out so that their potential blockers can't defend the wall.
Yep.
It's interesting.
Yep. And some cards that can't, I had to look up to see what cards get around this. So if you are deck building with this in mind and you want to have ambush, and you want to, if ambush gets crazy and you want to put cards in that don't get hit by it, I found Ari gets around it, Elena's Informant, Quaith of the Shadow, Red Keep Spy, and Queen's Assassin. So maybe those cards will start getting more play in Lanny decks, and they'll start running Whisper Campaign and ambushing that kind of stuff in, and using this to hurt their opponent.
Yeah, and the Lannister cards that do bounce back to hand, like the things I do for love and Red Keep Spy.
Oh, true.
Setting up into this
Yep.
if required. That could be a one-line thinking.
Yep. And I like the initiative. 4 initiative on a card is never bad. I think the stat line's pretty good on it.
I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same as Filthy Accusations.
Oh, okay.
Like, the whole shell is there. Except for maybe Filthy Accusations might also be a kingdom or an edict.
Oh, okay. Yep. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about Whisper Campaign. I like it. I'm interested. I do like intrigue challenges. I like building decks focused around intrigue, and to me, it screams Lannister, but, like, it's a very specific Lannister build. It's not Reigns. That's the weird thing. It's like, I don't know, go on a Lanny deck, or maybe even a Martell deck with the more intrigue focus, but not the traditional, like, jumper deck, I don't think, or even the Reigns deck that's focused more on intrigue, because this is kind of a crappy scheme card. So Like
No.
for that deck. For that deck, it's a crappy scheme.
Yeah, because they do have there's a good allotment of schemes right now. I don't know if this will find a place.
No, yeah, no, I think it has a totally different use, and I'm sure we'll see as we see more cards from the new box and of the upcoming expansions. This will make more sense, but you know, it's decent. It's decent. I'm sure some people will find a use for it. But yeah, anything else you have to say on this plot, Kevin?
No.
All right then. I guess that'll be it for our spoilers. I want to say thanks to everyone for watching. Thanks to FFG again for sending these cards over. You guys should subscribe to the channel, and we'll have more videos like this coming in the future, and lots more Game of Thrones content. So thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye.